Holy fuck. Come with me, boys. Let me show you what the fuck I am doing. It's fucking crazy, man. Yo, yo, yo. Bit of a different setup going on today, actually. As you know, as you can probably guess, I'm at the quarry. Well, at the entrance of it, basically. Bit of a fucking vlogging action going on. Look at that. Don't know if I look skinny. Maybe I look skinny in the video. Promise you I'm not that skinny. Anyway, yeah, bit of a different setup going on. I just wanted to kind of show you my tires that I got. This is 120 by 70 by 17 TKC 80, 60% off-road, 40% on-road tire for the front. The other tire, I'll come back to the fender in a second actually. You can see it's a bit elevated. So this other tire for the back, this chunky bad boy is actually 130 by 80 by 17. The OEM tires for this bike is for the front, it's actually 110 by 70 by 17. So it's only gotten 1 centimeter wider, theoretically speaking, although the knobbies do add a little bit more than what they actually state. So that's something to note. But you know, no issues with clearance whatsoever. Fits absolutely perfectly. I'll come back to the fender in a second. But the OEM tire for the back is 150 by 70 by 17. But it is actually slightly taller, and especially because it has the knobbies, that also adds a little bit of a height factor. But the good news is, look at that clearance. I don't know how well you can see that, but between the fender and the tire, crazy clearance. Hand fits in easily, like plenty of clearance. And it doesn't actually interfere with my license plate that I made. Yes, it is a bit fucked up, but anyway, that's a story for another time. It's actually kind of on my channel, so, you know, maybe this is one of those times when YouTubers go, oh look, click at the top right section of the video. Actually, let me do this. Top right section of the video, click it, you'll see why my license plate is absolutely fucking destroyed. Big up. Anyway, so, yeah, so it doesn't actually interfere height-wise, which is very good. If you know, you know. Let's see, what else? Plenty of space. Tire doesn't touch the fucking back of the bike, I guess. So that's good. But the thing is, I'll come back to the fender in a second. I haven't forgotten about you. This is not the same size chain as the OEM chain. The OEM chain is 112 links long. This is, I fucking forgot, I think it's 114 or 115, but this is the absolute longest chain in my opinion that you can get for this bike, because look how far back the fucking whatever this thing is called, the guide, look at how far back the guide is. You can't really go further back because then the chain will be too tight. So yeah, it will be too tight, that's all I wanted to say. And yeah, same, see, just very pushed back basically. So that's what's happening. Let's see, so the fender, I'll go back to it. So this is actually a fender from AliExpress. This is a completely different fender from the OEM fender. It's essentially a kit. It comes with the fender and also a few screws and a nylon lock nuts and a plate. It basically mounts the front fender to underneath of the headlight. So that's kind of what it does. And yeah, look at that clearance. I actually had issue with the OEM fender. It was absolute dog shit for off-roading because I like to go into the mud and I like to go, yeah, into the mud, into clay, whatever it is. And basically the mud or clay, I'm not quite sure what it was, but because there was no space between the fender and the tire, the clay or whatever got stuck. Like, look at, I don't know if you can see this, but the tire barely wants to spin. The bike wants to stall because the fucking fender is full of mud and fucking clay, man. Even the tire is quite warm from all the rubbing. Like, it's crazy, man. Fuck this, man. Between the tire and the fender, and it basically damaged the tire. It was burning my tire. Not this one, the old tire that I had, which was the OEM tire, the Pirelli Scorpion SRT Rally, I think it's called, something like that. But hopefully this will be better off-roading, because look at those knobbies. Actually has some decent depth. So I really have high hopes for this tire. So the other upgrade that I had on the bike, which is kind of relevant to what I'm talking about, is the front sprocket is 14 tooth, not 15 tooth. The OEM is 15 tooth. I dropped down to 14, which completely changed this bike. It was absolutely insane. Acceleration was fucking rapid, you know what I mean? It was like a little rocket, this bike. Insane, just complete overhaul. By the way, my jacket is not in the grass because I did not want to share my jacket with the bugs. So just to let you know, that's why. Okay, I love bugs, I love all animals, I fucking love all of them, but I did not want to share my jacket with the bugs. So that's why it's kind of chilling on the handlebar. Anyway, but because the tire that I've added, even though it's narrower, it's a little bit taller, and the knobbies also make it a little bit taller than the aspect ratio would suggest. So the bike became significantly, in my opinion, less powerful. Acceleration wise, it's not as good, even though I changed that front sprocket. So do keep that in mind, that if you don't change it and you get a similar tire like I do, you absolutely cannot expect crazy performance from this bike. Yeah, even though I changed the front sprocket, the bike feels less powerful than the stock bike with no performance upgrades. So let that fucking sink in, man. I was disappointed because the tire is slightly taller and the bike basically feels less powerful than the stock bike without the gearing change. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy, man. So before I changed these tires, I still had the 14 tooth sprocket and it was fucking rapid. It was insane. Insane, man. Like fucking 500cc bike, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I'm just talking shit, but it was crazy difference. Highly recommend doing that sprocket change. Even if you ride on the highway, it's not an issue. I do 120 all the time, no problem. But I'm just some guy, don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, do keep that in mind. The performance, the acceleration takes a heavy hit, in my opinion, because I could be talking shit, but that's how I felt, you know what I mean? The bike did not feel as powerful acceleration wise. Yeah, what else? I don't know. But the tire looks very cool. I don't know if the exposure is doing good. Tire looks very cool. Haven't really tested it yet, only today. Long story, don't want to explain it. Haven't been riding for 2 weeks. But yes, so I'm gonna try and test it out today a bit in some sand and stuff. I kind of covered everything, I think, that is new and relevant, I guess. I guess it's time to test the tires out. Haha. Okay, let's go. Man's back. Come on. So already what I've noticed is even though I deflated the tire for extra grip, the bike cannot put its power down because the tire is just spinning. Like yeah, I did not have that issue. I could pop a power wheelie in first off-road, but because the tire was gripping. But now I absolutely cannot do that. I never thought I would have this issue. I don't know why I just indicated, but anyway, it's just a habit. But this is crazy to me because, yeah, like this tire, which is like this chunky fucking like off-roading tire, it cannot put the power down. That's crazy to me, man. That's so crazy to me. And what I was actually going to say is how loud these tires are. And by the way, I do have a check engine light. I think that's related to my ABS sensor, and I'll explain why in a second. Well, it would be better if I show you why, but yeah, maybe I'll get off the bike and I'll explain it later. So remind me to explain. I cannot believe that this tire would have issues with grip off-road. That's like crazy to me. Even the fucking Pirelli Scorpion, whatever the name of the tire is, had like better a grip than these tires do on this shitty fucking like dirt road. How is that possible? I just can't believe that. The bike cannot put its power down. That's crazy to me. And I cannot find this fucking way to go up here. It's like all this grass is just making me question the entrance. I cannot see it. Is that it? I just don't know. Honestly don't know. That's like, oh, I think this is it. Do I think so? Fuck. Yeah. I mean, I can't see too much. This grass is kind of crazy, actually. Hopefully no ticks. Oh, look at this. You cannot see anything. Insane. I never seen it like this before. Like the grass so high up. I kind of don't really want to go fast. It's spooky. Yeah, I just cannot get my head wrapped around this whole thing. That the bike cannot put its power down because of this tire. That's crazy, man. I seem to have enough grip when I'm riding on road, so maybe that's a performance issue when I'm on road. But if I'm coming off road, that's not really a performance issue. The tire just doesn't have grip, it seems like. Which is crazy, man, because this is an off-roading tire. I would imagine it would have grip in any off-roading situation. You know what I mean? Like, relatively speaking. But on road, it seems to have better grip than off-road. Like, what the fuck? This is it. You know what? I'm going to actually set my camera up. The fuel consumption seems insane with this new tire in the back. At least when I had the other front tire, not the OEM one, but anyway, long story, other front tire, it was, yeah, it's kind of crazy with that consumption. But if I can quickly show you maybe, this is that ABS sensor cable, this here, the one that's zip tied, it's coming up here. And so from here on out, my voice recorder kind of shut itself. So you'll have to rely on the Insta360's amazing voice recording. Enjoy. Basically, the way the plate is that mounts the front fender to the underneath that light, I basically crossed that fucking cable between the light and the plate and all that. So careful with that. So sometimes my ABS and all that doesn't work, and the speed doesn't even register on the bike, which is not good. It's fucking shit. But anyway, so that's kind of what happened. Let me show you what this is like. I don't know how steep this looks, but like I don't know how to show you this. It's hella steep. Hella steep. But on camera it's like, oh, what is this shit, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna set my camera up, so maybe I could take like a cool video. I just don't quite know, because I just have this little like gorilla tripod. Yeah, I don't know, so I'm just gonna set it down like here. Hope for the best. Holy fuck! Come with me, boys! Let me show you what the fuck I am doing! What is this? Holy shit! Look at this! That's fucking crazy, man! I'd hate to do this, but the video is getting way too long now that I'm looking at it, editing it. So I'll be posting a part 2 very soon. So subscribe and join the journey. See how the bike performs off-road. Big up! Let's do it.